Hi guys, this is Ali Hussein Kassim again from Ali Talks Tech. We are still at Novacom Summit on the sidelines of this super interesting summit. I have had the pleasure and privilege to talk to many people, quite a number of people in the last 2 days. Today morning, I am privileged to speak to Tegene Tesfaye from Ethio Telecom. Tegene, karibu, as we say in Kenya. Welcome.
Oh, well stayed.
Brilliant. Now, Tegene, just a brief about yourself and Ethio Telecom, and then we jump into our conversation.
Okay, thank you. My name is Tegene Tesfaye. I am from Ethio Telecom, Network Infrastructure Division. Regarding to Ethio Telecom is one of the big telecom sector or telecom company in Africa. We have a long service year experience, more than 127 plus. So I think we didn't get too much telecom service providers in Africa with this year of experience.
Did you say 100?
127 plus.
127 plus years
Yes.
in existence.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Oh, okay. Basically, not only from the life cycle of the telecom sectors, but from the customer perspective as well. We have 74 million customers in the mobile sector, which was the second in Africa, as per the information I have. So we are working on mobile sectors, fixed telephone sectors, and more Telebirr or Fintech sectors as well. Even if it was new or within the last 3 years experience, we have a lot of customers, more than 30 million customers we have in mobile telecom sectors as well.
Wow. Okay. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is pedigree and history right there. How is the telecom sector? So you said telecom, mobile telephony, internet, and fintech.
Yes.
All right. So fintech is my first love. I am in another life. I wear the hat of, I'm the chairman of the Association of Fintechs in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also the vice president, executive board member of the Africa Fintech Network, and vice president of AFN, Africa Fintech Network in Eastern Africa. So tell me about your fintech experience or ecosystem, or what Ethio Telecom is doing in the fintech space.
Basically, on fintech space, as I said previously, we will say Telebirr. Tele is telecom, Birr is the currency what we have used.
The Ethiopian currency.
Yeah, the Ethiopian currency what we have used. Starting from the period of Telebirr, digitalization in Ethiopia was growing in a faster way. Basically, most products have challenged by the way of payments. For instance, from the customer angle, we can see it from service perspective.
Okay.
For almost a lot of governmental and non-governmental organizations are now using Telebirr as a payment modality, since it was easy. And we have a very good application which was incorporating a lot of service.
Okay.
We have done a lot on it. Even you can see it from the customer perspective. Within 2 years period, more than 30 million customer getting is not an easy task.
So Telebirr has 30 million active users.
Yeah, 30 million active users we have.
Okay.
So currently, Telebirr was now changing the digital economy of Ethiopia.
Mm-hmm.
Even last year's, from the currency what was transacted by Telebirr is more than some of the banks in Ethiopia.
I'm not surprised. That is already happening in Kenya too.
Yeah. So Telebirr is now growing. We will expect next time it will 100% everything will become digital with the support of Telebirr.
Okay. So Ethio Telecom has been a monopoly for many years.
Yes.
Now, with the advent of Safaricom in the last 1 year,
2 years.
2 years now in Ethiopia, what's the outlook for Telebirr? For Telebirr and for Ethio Telecom?
The outlook for Telebirr and Ethio Telecom is, for me, it was positive. If you have seen the history of the last 2 years in Ethio Telecom and Safaricom history, Safaricom are now under starting phase in Ethiopia.
Correct.
They are now started. They have a good experience. As per the last time report they posted, they have now reached 5 million customers.
Yes.
Even if it was very low from Ethio Telecom perspective, but it is undergrowing stage. So we will expect it may not be one time shoot to become 74 millions.
Yes.
So it was okay. Even with the competition world, it will give you a positive advantage for you in order to work with you have the gap. So currently you can ask any Ethiopian people for the last 2 years. It's not only for the last 2 years before the coming of the Safaricoms. As you know, Ethio Telecom was working amazing workers on different sectors. It give us a room to show ourselves as well.
Correct.
It give us to show to work hard. So the market of Ethiopia is very big. The people what we have is 120 plus people.
Yes.
So even
which is the second largest population in Africa.
Yes, second largest
after Nigeria.
After Nigeria, yes. So the market is not full. You can work together. Whether Safaricom was working good or not, it doesn't affect you, or else it will give you to work hard or to hurry in advance before things are going to down. Currently, our status is not bad. Financially, our increment is more than 30%.
Okay, growth.
Okay. So we are at same or at pace that was expected.
Okay. So you're not worried about Safaricom?
You will hurry and work, not worried.
Okay, so competition is good.
Competition is good.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. Let's look at your 74 million customers. That's probably about 55-60% of the Ethiopian population, right?
60%, 60-70%.
About 60%, because if you're talking about a population of 120 plus, and you have 74 million, so there's still about 50 million plus of Ethiopians who need to get a mobile phone, need to get connectivity. So let's park that for 1 minute and let's talk about internet connectivity in Ethiopia.
Regarding to internet connectivity in Ethiopia, currently most of the customers are using the mobile internet. Currently, we have deployed 4G almost all parts of Ethiopia. Majority part of Ethiopia, and 5G in the major selected areas, more than 8.
You already have 5G.
5G in 8 cities. We have 5G.
Okay.
Currently, the customers, the challenge on 5G was basically focused on the gadgets they have.
Okay.
As you know it, the 5G mobiles is not so cheap, so most customers are now challenged by that. Similar to 4G generation. If you remember, at the beginning of 4G, almost all the customers have the normal telephone and smartphone as growing up next to that. So internet is, for me, especially from the deployment perspective, it's not, we have to work hard on it, because the customer interest, especially most of the customers have awareness regarding to internet.
Correct.
Their business has related to internet. So it needs too much to work, especially if you have seen the data. The East Africa internet penetration ratio is very low.
It's very low.
Yeah, I think the lowest in Africa.
About 36.
Yeah. So we have to work hard on that part. Speed have to be improved. We have to have, but one thing I want to clarify for you, even if we are now 74 millions, before 4 years ago, our customer base is less than 34 million. So most of the customers are now joined this network the last 5 years.
Okay.
So I will expect the next 5 year will become to incorporate all of the customers, and within meanwhile, in order to upgrade the internet penetration ratio.
Is cost an issue for your customers? Cost for internet connections?
Rather than cost for internet connection, the capacity for internet connection was an issue for the customer. As a customer, if you request any one of the Ethiopian guys, cost-wise, we have reduced more than 60% the price before we have.
Okay, so
that was the reason why the customer base is now becoming double.
Okay, so yes, in some of the conversations yesterday, one of the key issues that was raised is cost of internet, which is hampering Africans to get online. Is that a major issue in Ethiopia?
For me, rather than cost for internet, cost access for mobile companies or the ISPs are the challenge for me. Okay. You know what? When you give an internet facility for the customers, the BTS behind was the shared resource. So when you hang them on the shared resource, the customer's quality will deduct or it will be affected. That was a critical case what I have seen in Ethiopia. It's not only in Ethiopia. In most of the countries I have seen the experience of the customer and the report or the speed report of the telecom sectors are different.
I see.
This was actually because of the backbone capacity issue or the BTS capacity issue.
Cool. Let's now move to fintech. And you mentioned that now the Telebirr is making more money than some of the banks in Ethiopia. What do you see as potential collaboration between banks and the mobile money operators in Ethiopia? What is Ethio Telecom doing with the banks? Are you collaborating? Have you integrated into the banking ecosystem like what M-Pesa has done in Kenya? What's the future in that?
Basically, the banking systems and Telebirr are working together.
They're working together.
Yeah. Telebirr, from the back end, you can transfer or you can manage your bank account with Telebirr, and you can manage the Telebirr account with banks as well.
Okay, good.
So they are working together. It's not only that. For loan purpose, for instance, we are working with two big banks in Ethiopia. You can have a loan from the bank via Telebirr.
Okay, good.
So we are working together.
How is the agent network? How important is the agent network for mobile money in Ethiopia?
You mean?
So, do you have an agent network where people can cash in and cash out mobile money?
Oh, yeah.
How important is that? And how many agents are in Ethiopia and Telebirr?
I'm not 100% sure regarding to the numbers.
Okay.
But we have Telebirr agents in Ethiopia. All telecom stations or tele offices are agent for Telebirr.
Okay.
In addition, all the shops are Telebirr agent. Supermarkets are Telebirr agent.
Okay.
By the way, all fuel station, gas station are Telebirr agents as well. So, from the customer perspective, in order to access your money easily, you have to have a point of contact at any place.
Correct.
So, for that, the agent's role was very big.
It was very important.
Yeah. In order to deposit or in order to take your money, you have to have agents at anywhere.
Yeah.
So, it was working well. It's good.
How about payments for services? Is Telebirr now allowing people to make payments? Like, for example, you walk into a supermarket and you want to make payment. Can you make payment with Telebirr?
Yes.
Okay.
You know what? One thing for digitalization world, for instance, for fuel, in gas stations, you can't pay in Birr, directly in Birr.
You can't?
You can't.
Why?
You have to pay with digital models. like financial sectors, they have the digital models, and Telebirr is one of the biggest shareholder on the fuel stations.
Okay.
Supermarket, almost most of the supermarkets use Telebirr. Cafe.
So you can pay.
You can pay with Telebirr.
Good. Fantastic. So as we close this conversation today, what's the future for Ethio Telecom? Is Ethio Telecom thinking about expansion beyond Ethiopia?
Basically, our motto of this year is beyond connectivity, which means currently our work or our previous work is basically focused to have a connectivity, but our target is beyond connectivity.
Okay.
Like we have to digitalize Ethiopia.
Like Fintech.
Digitalizing Ethiopia will have a big role. We are now working with a lot of governmental organizations with big projects in order to digitalize that.
That is fantastic.
Hospitals, schools. So we'll expect the next future will be bright.
So one of the most important African brands known worldwide is Ethiopian Airlines. Would the next one be Ethio Telecom?
Of course.
Good to hear. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It's a real pleasure talking to you.
Oh, thank you, sir.
All right, great.